Hello. From Lord Commander Snow at Castle Black. I'm to be the new Maester.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 7 prediction video. Today I want to talk about our favorite Maester in training, Samwell Tarly, and some of the experiments he will be conducting while he is at the Citadel. At the end of Season 5, Sam left the Night's Watch to head south to become their new Maester now that Aemon Targaryen is dead. Considering there are only 2 shortened seasons left, we know Sam is going to be on a crash course of learning everything that he possibly can in a very short amount of time. And based off some of the set photos that we have seen, it definitely looks like Sam is going to be hard at work for the time that he is there. You can see stacks of books all around him as he is studying for his first midterm. He even has Gilly reading up on some of the history and legends of Westeros. But there is another photo that was recently released that really got my attention, which is the photo of Sam wearing some sort of lab coat, and he's covered in blood. What I love about this photo is we know for a fact now that Sam is going to be doing some sort of medical procedures. Now we know he didn't go to the Citadel just to try to help Jon and search for stuff about the Long Night, or how to make Valyrian steel, or how to become a wizard, or stuff like that. But if you look behind him, you can also see a scale with what looks to be a brain or a heart or something like that laying on it. But it's the look on Sam's face and the direction he's looking in that really has me curious. This may sound crazy to some of you, but I believe this is when Sam is going to meet Jorah Mormont for the first time. By the look on Sam's face, it appears that he is looking at someone that just walked into the room. And since this is a room where medical procedures are done, I think this is when he meets Jorah to talk about his grayscale and how they can cure it, or at least prevent it from spreading any further, and ultimately killing him. The last time we saw Jorah Mormont was mid-season 6 when he revealed to Daenerys Targaryen that he contracted grayscale on his arm, which is when Daenerys told Jorah to go get himself cured and then come back to her because she did want him at her side when she made it to Westeros, even though Tyrion suggested otherwise. Knowing how much Jorah loves Daenerys, we can be sure that he will do just that. But the only problem is grayscale is extremely deadly and very hard to treat. But if there was one place in the world that could potentially give him any kind of help, it would most likely be at the Citadel. A report came out months ago that said Jorah Mormont was filming in Old Town, but there weren't any photos to prove it, so I can't confirm that. But once Sam meets Jorah, I do believe he will do everything in his power to help him. Samwell Tarly already has a history with the Mormonts. Jorah's father was the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch while Sam was at Castle Black. Lord Commander Mormont actually saved Sam's life back in Season 3, Episode 1. When Sam was alone north of the wall and he came face to face with a White that was carrying some type of battle axe. And right as Sam was about to be killed, Ghost jumped on the White and took it down. But it didn't stop the White from still trying to kill Sam. But it was the Lord Commander Mormont who showed up with a torch and burnt the White to save Sam from being killed by this damn thing. So when Sam learns that Jorah is a Mormont and his former Lord Commander's son, he will be more than willing to help him out any way that he can. About 7 months ago, I actually made a video about Jorah getting his grayscale cured, and in that video I went over 3 different ways I believe he could do this. One of the ways I thought he could get cured was by Quaithe. If you remember, Jorah had several encounters with this mysterious woman, and during one of these encounters, Quaithe was putting these interesting looking symbols on some man's back. She told Jorah that the man had to sail past Old Valyria, and all who travel close to the Doom must have protection. In the television show, that's where Jorah ended up getting his grayscale, and since he already had this connection with Quaithe, I figured she was a good candidate to help Jorah protect himself from it spreading any further. And I also said in that video that Sam would be a good choice for helping Jorah since he was at the Citadel. But it was my last option that I think may end up happening. In my original prediction video, I said that Jorah Mormont may get the same kind of treatment that Victarion Greyjoy received in the books. Victarion Greyjoy is the brother of Balon and Euron Greyjoy. And I believe it was in A Feast for Crows when Victarion Greyjoy gets into a duel and badly injures his hand. He eventually gets help from a red priest named Makaro who does fix his hand, but it ends up making it all charred and blackened. I had a feeling they could do something like this with Jorah, and once I took a closer look at the arm sticking out of the cell door in the Season 7 trailer, that was exactly what I thought they ended up doing to him. We know that grayscale does darken like we've seen on the Stone Men, but the arm sticking out of the cell door looks black, and the skin is split open and it appears that you can see some red tissue under there. In my opinion, that arm looks to be burnt to a crisp. I definitely think that's Jorah at the Citadel locked up under quarantine until his treatment is over. and they burn his arm in some way just like the Red Priest did to Victarion's hand in the books. It would also be kind of poetic in a way if Sam was the one to do this. Lord Commander Mormont saved Sam's life by using fire, and now Sam can save Jorah Mormont's life by using fire. That would be pretty damn cool if you ask me. Also, that article came out a few weeks ago from the Toronto Sun reporter who spent several days on the Game of Thrones set talking to the cast and crew. In that article, they said they visited the set of the Citadel where they saw tons of prop books and bookshelves, but the rest are obviously added in post-production to make the library look as big as it did in the Season 6 finale. But it was the other thing they saw that was very interesting. While they were on set, they saw some type of cell with a big sturdy door, most likely the same one we saw in the trailer with the arm coming out of it. Now, I could be wrong about all this, but when you start to piece together all the information we've received, and all the photos and promos, it seems to fit together, which is Jorah going to the Citadel to get help with his grayscale. And since Sam is there and he's a character we are already familiar with, this will give him a big role to play in the meantime. So it makes perfect sense for Sam to be involved in this plotline if Jorah in fact goes there for help. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I have a gut feeling this is Sam meeting Jorah for the first time in this little lab room, in the most recent photo released by HBO. Jorah Mormont still has a much bigger role to play in the North and the wars to come, so I think Jorah will be one of the few characters to survive throughout the entire series. Jorah was in the very first episode of the Game of Thrones series, and I believe he will be in the last episode of the Game of Thrones series as well, but that's just my opinion. So we need Jorah cured and back into the fold as quickly as possible. It's also going to be very interesting to see the interaction between Jorah and Lyanna. If you think Lyanna was harsh on Lord Mandalorian Glover, wait until you see what she says to Jorah for disgracing the Mormont's name. Lyanna is going to rip Jorah a new asshole for sure, and it's going to be hilarious, but Jorah will be forgiven, but not until he takes one hell of a lashing from Lady Mormont. But comment below and let me know what you think. Will Sam and Jorah meet in this room and discuss some type of treatment for his arm? And what do you believe they will do in order to stop the grayscale from taking over Jorah's entire body and driving him mad like the Stone Men that we've seen? I'd like to get everyone's thoughts on this. Thanks for watching the video. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to check it out, and a big thanks to my Patreon supporters. I'll see you all down below. Bye.